Hey guys, it's Armand as always, and I'm here with Trayvon Kentrell Coker. And we're on our 15th episode of the Post Fight Podcast. We actually decided at the end of last week, like before we'd finished recording, that we were going to make the watch along thing a weekly thing with you guys. So every Wednesday, we're going to pick fights that are publicly accessible through mostly legal means, hopefully, as of now, legal means. And yeah, we're just going to watch them with you guys. So that's its own series now. So last week was the first episode of Post-Fight Watch-Alongs. And here we're on our 15th. We'll be previewing the Holloway Kattar card. And Trayvon, if you want to take it away.
So we're going to start off by previewing Holloway Kattar. Very good fight. Very, very good fight. We're going to... I'll quickly go with the schedule. That's very important as well. Because there's so many fights next week.
Right.
So Holloway Kattar will be this week. That is it. Next week, we will be reviewing Holloway Kattar and probably some few fights that are probably cool or something cool that happens or whatever, yada. And quickly previewing Magny versus Chiesa. And then previewing like crazy Holloway and not Holloway, McGregor Poirier card. That card is very, very stacked. So we're going to spend a lot of time on that. I'm very happy about that. That's cool. So we're going to get ourselves just straight into the Holloway Kattar fight. Freaking first things first. The fight is great. Awesome. I love it. So first I'm going to go over, I guess, my opinions and the areas of both fighters of where they want to take it and where they can win. So I think it is very important for Max Holloway in this fight. Not very important, but I think it would help him a lot if he stayed in Southpaw. Because Calvin Kattar, to me, most of his game, like his actual work, his feeling and his range and his ability to gauge distance comes off his jab or his lead hand, because he does a lot of probing, a lot of probing to find his distance, find his range, and then off of that he can burst through, bam, to land a big shot, or he'll probe and he'll feel you at the end of his range, and then he can sit down and counter with like big counter combinations or things like that. Obviously, it would also help if Max kicked at him a lot, because Kattar really does not like to fight kickers, man. I've said this before about Kattar. He is extraordinarily good within his slice of range. Not even only say slice of range, but like within like a fight that he wants to fight, as in like pocket boxing and being able to burst through range to cover that gap where you're not moving much. But if he doesn't have initiative of like where the fight is going or how it's going, he's kind of just there for like big portions of the time. People kick at him, he can't really get his range. He just kind of eats it. People press him back hard. He can't really. Not say he can't really, but I mean he doesn't counter as consistently, or he doesn't feel comfortable doing it. He'll kind of just let people come at him kind of for free, burst through range. And even when he's coming forward, if he can't get his lead hand like on you and feel you or feel your distance, he can't really get any good combos off. Especially against the elite guys, like against Zabit. Zabit was just moving around so much he couldn't really get the feel of how far Zabit was, or he couldn't get like the range. And so Zabit would just kind of slide in, slide out, boom, slide in, slide out, slide in, slide out. And it just, Kattar was kind of a step behind for like big portions of the fight until Zabit started to tire and he could sit down and exchange with Zabit. But the funny thing is, man, like when Kattar is exchanging with Holloway, that is an extremely, extremely bad spot for Holloway to be in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that Holloway can exchange with Kattar. I think he really can. But like if Kattar can time some of Holloway's entries, he'll have some really good effective work to do from there. Especially as they're exchanging, if Holloway is too stationary in the pocket for him,
which he can be. I think Kattar, he will chill there sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, I think Kattar can deliver some big shots, big shots. Okay, so before I get our prediction, Armand, you can go, and we'll discuss.
I think you honestly covered it pretty well. I would say. It's interesting that you say you want to be in Southpaw. I would say that the biggest thing I would want to look at for Max Holloway, which before his most recent fight with Volkanovski, I would not have thought he was capable of implementing, would be to be very kick heavy in this fight. You mentioned it before, and you for some reason didn't include this. You said that in his own way, Calvin Kattar is like Edson Barboza, and that he's extremely.
Oh, I forgot to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. In his fight, which it's not even like you said a slice of range. It's like in his specific fight dynamic, like if the dynamic of the fight is playing out exactly like he wants, like he's like lethal almost. Like when you watch Barboza fight Dan Hooker, that was a fight he was just so good at, you know. But like Hinata Moicano is just giving him like problem after problem with, you know what I'm saying? Not letting him get his boxing going because of the leg kicks. You know, just Kattar having a hard time trying to set down on his lead foot to throw jabs against someone who's harassing his lead leg. And Max Holloway showed a very intelligent kicking ability, and especially the first 2 rounds of his most recent fight with Alexander Volkanovski. So, yeah, I would say to use the kicks early and often to like honestly, I would start like, especially if is Kattar an orthodox fighter?
He is an orthodox fighter. And speaking about the case with Holloway, early career Holloway was a very like active, right? I'm not gonna say reckless kicker, but he was a very active kicker. Started to kind of slow that down a little bit as time goes on. Yeah. But I don't see as why he couldn't be able to do that, especially since he just did it against Volkanovski. Kicked with him a lot more, made things much difficult for Volkanovski in this fight. I think kicking Kattar would do wonders for him because he can actually contest Kattar at range, especially. Like he could jab with Kattar. He could do a lot of stuff with Kattar to make Kattar game really, really rough. But if he doesn't kick with him, man, it's gonna be very difficult for him to actually like control the dynamic like you said.
Well, it'll be anyone's fight because they can both exchange, in the pocket. So you're leveling the playing field, in my opinion, too much.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. You don't control if you don't initiate, you don't take the initiative in the fight by doing that. But I would probably get him kicking early and often. Definitely kicking the lead leg a lot, and then if they're in open stances with each other, going to kick the body. I wouldn't in my opinion. I just thought of this, throwing front kicks to the open side, like using like left front kicks for Max Holloway. So do you think that'd be a decent idea?
I mean, I think you could do that. I really think just staying a southpaw, jabbing with him at southpaw a little bit, and working the body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like throwing lead kicks to the body, not lead kicks. I'm sorry, front kicks with like if he's in southpaw, throwing this leg.
That's like I said, that's not bad. I think he can just kind of kick Kattar to the body for free, press him back, angle off towards Kattar's left side or to Max Holloway's right side, and then just make Kattar just have to kind of circle and chase him a lot for like big portions of the fight, and then he can kind of blitz in with combos every once in a while when he does that, and Kattar's just gonna kind of be on the back foot, boom. Like Kattar won't be able to like again have his fight because if Kattar is a fighter that can close distance, he can fight on the counter, he can exchange, he can do all that stuff very well, but he needs to have like very specific like I'm gonna say like dynamics to do that. Against Ricardo Lamas, such control of the range with his jab, such easy ability to close distance with nothing coming back at him, with nothing to scare him off. He can just close distance hard and wreck him. Boom.
Yeah.
Against like guys like Jeremy Stephens, he didn't do the best job of stopping the pressure, but he got a read on it after a while and just intercepted him like bam, like hell, boom. Like Kattar can fight like in like a lot of different spaces, but I think Max Holloway can just mix things up and not let him like actually like set in the space. Because even guys like Danny Ige is a reasonable guy, but he's nowhere near the fighter Max Holloway or any of the top strikers at 45. Danny Ige was able to do good work, just doing a lot of bursting into range, jabbing with Kattar, and then like touching Kattar on Kattar's exits, boom, boom, boom. And I can see a lot of that from Holloway. I don't see problem in Holloway's game against Kattar when it comes to like his blitzes and whatnot. I think he had that for free. But like he needs to move around and be southpaw at range just to kind of like make the neutral exchanges not neutral in his end. Make him his own. That way he won't have any like problems when they're just kind of idle. I think he can kind of blitz in smartly when he needs to be and not really have to worry about Kattar like doing too much.
Well, he needs to do that after he can't just do it for free in my opinion. Like he can, but he needs to work himself into that. Like we said,
exactly. Yes.
Because like those things open up as the fight progresses. If he sets himself up for it.
And the reason I'm kind of so hell bent on Max Holloway fighting from southpaw, because to me Kattar has his lead hand does a lot of work for him, a lot of work for him.
Really good job.
Obviously jab is very important, but in terms of just like to me it feels like I feel him. He like literally just has to feel how far you are. Okay. He'll overextend his jab just to get a sense of the range, or he'll touch out just to get a sense of the range, and if he can just messing with that little radar system in his head, it'll do a lot to like stop Kattar from like feeling comfortable bursting in and all that.
This might be a dummy technical question for you, but I remember we were talking about McGregor and Poirier in the last, and I said it was strange to see Conor McGregor jabbing, and you said with the close stance orientation being that Poirier is also a southpaw, it made the jab more accessible. Now, what about that is what about me? Because I'll jab with people even if because I'm a lefty and they're orthodox. I'll still jab with people. What about? I mean, and you always hear about like southpaw fight. A lot of really good southpaw fighters I noticed like like they have like the southpaw like standard thing. Like, well, they'll throw like the left straight, the left body kick. And you know what I'm saying? And like you don't see them. I see fewer southpaw jabbers than against orthodox fighters than I would imagine there could be. What is it about the open stance orientation that that makes it less likely one will jab effectively? Like, why is that?
No, it's really no, yeah, that's a good question. It's just that like your hands are like literally like just right in front of each other.
They're touching,
like,
yeah. You see them check hands.
They're like,
okay,
yeah, it's just like they jab, you just hit like hand. You know what I mean? Or it's easy just to like swat it out the way. Like in open stance, yeah, it's just too many layers of like defense in the way. Like also the body positioning as well. Like if like you say, like the shoulders in the way is like this, and they're trying to jab from this side.
You're just gonna get
this
behind
direction.
Your shoulder,
yes, exactly. But like if I'm open, like it can come straight down the middle. Like
that's what you're saying. Yeah.
You can attack my center line a whole lot easier. And so jabbing in opposite stances it's very not. I'm sorry, it's not impossible. It's not like you can't. A lot of good guys can do it if they're like active like jabbers like that. But it just makes things difficult because it's just so many like. It's just like something there to check your.
Well, I mean, if you have your hand out, someone can just they can follow it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's super hard. You know what I mean? And then there's the shoulders there, and then the angle makes the jab slide off a little bit easier. It's just a lot of like little things that like make the jab really really annoying.
I do have a question. This is sort of a diversion from what we're talking about. Like I was talking to a friend about this, and like one thing I've been trying to work on like in my head is like getting outside foot position if I'm a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, right? So can you jab into that range and then stutter step out to this direction and then throw so they get down behind the shoulder and then your like left high kick is set up or your left hook is set up? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there still utility in jabbing from there? Is what I'm getting at.
No, yeah, there's utility. Yeah, like, and then even in inside foot position, you can jab like crazy from inside. Like, when you have inside foot position in opposite stances, the jab like it effectively becomes like the same as like orthodox or southpaw at the same like it effectively becomes the same because the angle too it matters a lot. But no, yeah, you can jab from outside, you can jab from inside. It's just in neutral, which is where you're mostly going to be at. It's just hard to get through. But in the case of this fight, Max Holloway and Kattar, for Max Holloway, I think him kind of just killing Kattar's jab will do a lot.
Yeah.
Like even if Max Holloway's jab doesn't really get going from southpaw, it'll just do a lot to just really disrupt like the signals of like Kattar's jab and his range.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of be like, he won't have much going. You know what I mean? He won't be able to close the gap as easily, to feel comfortable closing the gap, to feel comfortable countering, to feel comfortable doing a lot of things. And again, Max Holloway is very good from southpaw. He can fight out of both stands. Obviously, he can mix the things up. I think he should use a lot of shifts because Kattar will just back up kind of hard without throwing something in return or keeping something on there. So you can kind of like feint something from southpaw and then shift into orthodox and land some good strikes in that process, without too much worrying about like Kattar being able to like to intercept that movement. Again, I mean, it's not like he can just do it for free. Because if Kattar gets a read or something, he will intercept it, and he hits hard. He's very competent in the pocket, very competent everywhere. You just can't be like, I wouldn't recommend. You just can't be taking shots from Kattar like that. But I think the game of Max Holloway is gonna be a lot of mix-ups, a lot of playing with the range, playing with the distance, frustrating the hell out of Kattar, and then starting to like poke and prod at him like progressively bigger shots. Kind of like a quintessential Max Holloway fight, but like you have to be smart. Like you have to be smart to get to.
Well, it's not going to be the same type of getting inside and kind of like when you watch him fuck up Ortega. Where he's kind of in the pocket, just body, head for free.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah,
it's not gonna be like that. But I do think, like you said, quintessential Max Holloway fight. That that sort of path is there for him, but it's something he has to work into more intelligently. He can't just go into round one that way. But yeah, I mean, is that all you have to say about that fight?
Just about, yes. I mean, a little bit lasting. The reason why I'm speaking more on Max Holloway's than Kattar's is because I think Max Holloway more so has like the avenues to win. He just has to like fight a smart fight. Unless Kattar just shows just completely different, which I kind of doubt. You can't never really expect guys to be looking just completely different. I think it's Max Holloway's fight to lose. And I'm speaking on the ways I think he's gonna win. Kattar, I don't really. I'm gonna say don't. Him winning very much can happen, but it's something to me of that's gonna have to come from Max Holloway kind of fighting not the best fight or a fight that doesn't favor him the most. Because to me, Kattar is who he is. And if Max Holloway can play the games that I know he can play, he should have an access to a victory in this fight. So I got Max Holloway by decision. It should be very good and very fun. there should be some very nice exchanges when they do happen.
Mm.
I think it'll be a very, very, very nice fight in my opinion. I like very, very high quality fight. I'm happy.
I agree, and I want to give it to Max Holloway by decision. I think the fight gets better for Holloway, and the rounds become more dominant if he does win in like 4 and 5, latter half of 3.
No, yeah, I pretty much agree. Again, like Kattar to me, man, his avenues to victory, they're there, but they're just not like Max Holloway. Just the quality of fighter, in my opinion, that can just kind of stay away from most of them. Like
He's a
most
smart fighter,
guys,
too.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like most guys, they either just can't compete at Kattar within the spaces he's good at, or they're just not good enough to stay out of them, or or whatever, however it is.
Yeah.
But Max Holloway, he's good enough to exchange with Kattar. He can still play a rangy game. He can still burst, like he can do all the little things that Kattar just doesn't like. Kick at him, all little things, and then compete with him in the spaces that Kattar likes to compete at.
Yep.
I just don't really see much avenues for Kattar to win this fight too much. I'm sorry, not consistently at least. I don't really see him winning much.
Like you said, as Max Holloway's fight goes, it would depend more on Holloway not doing what he needs to do, and not necessarily his. Like you wouldn't say the best Max Holloway is not capable. It's like he matches up poorly with Kattar. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Then we can move on to the next thing now. Condit versus Matt Brown. We can touch up on that real quick. It's kind of a sad fight, but I would say Matt Brown's less washed than Carlos Condit.
No, yeah, this is a fight that should have happened, man, in like 2014, 15. Man, that fight then, that would have been a good fight then. Yeah, now this fight is just kind of like an old time sake fight, in my opinion. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, this fight is just like, it's just a fight to like look at guys back, like
because they're still
who are not in their prime. Yeah, who are not in their prime. Can still like perform at a reasonable level. I think Matt Brown. Yeah, I think Matt Brown again, like I said, is probably a little less washed. I mean, Carlos Condit's been looking terrible as well though recently, very bad.
Yeah.
I will say I'm gonna talk about the fight as if they were like in their primes and who the fighters they are, and then I'll just extrapolate and give my opinion from there. Like Matt Brown, in his prime, very, very good pressure fighter, very good in the clinch. Would strike his way into the clinch very well. Very damaging, attacked all levels of the body.
Yeah, I mean, he would throw hard hooks to the body and shit. I mean, he was good at that.
And then, I think in a way that would be kind of very weird for Carlos Condit to fight, because Carlos Condit is like a little, he's a rangy striker, kind of like a blitzy guy.
Who did you say was a budget Carlos Condit?
Tim means a budget Carlos Condit. He's like, yeah. But like the budget Carlos Condit is still a good version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Tim Means is more technical. Whatever that means, technical than Carlos Condit. But no, Carlos Condit was a very smart guy. He knew how to like build his combos into success. Very, very tough, very good chin, ridiculous chin.
Yeah. He could just be a good fight.
I think, to be honest with you, man, like in their primes, I think I would have picked Carlos Condit, man, but like Mike Brown would have a very good shot of winning, because both of them were like extremely tough, and they both kind of have the opposing games. One wants to like fight at range and then burst in, kind of coach you with kicks and all that. And one kind of wants to just get in tight and smack you.
Both fight bad, they fight bad at each other's strength. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. I guess, man. If I had to choose a winning option, again, I'd probably go Matt Brown. I just feel like he.
Definitely go
what I know, man, I don't know, man. They're both.
Dude, honestly, I don't think Carlos Condit can win a fight anymore. Like, who did he fight last?
He just won his last fight, I think.
Against some bum, though. Like I think, or some old dude. Who did he fight against last? He did. I remember like not enjoying the fight. Who did he last fight?
He beat Court McGee, but Court McGee's 100 years old too. So
yeah.
No, yeah, man. Like I don't know how I can like. Yeah, everybody. No, yeah, I don't know how I can detail this fight. I don't know.
If you watch Matt Brown's last fight against, I think it was a Brazilian, a young guy. In round 1, he was winning because he was on the gas. I mean, he was on the front foot.
Mm-hmm.
Then he ended up losing on the back foot. I just remember that being like the basic description of how it happened. But I don't think Condit has the wherewithal to consistently put Matt Brown on the back foot or to threaten him enough to like convince him to back up as much anymore. And I think Matt Brown probably just wears him down the way that Matt Brown does. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think in the fight that Matt Brown lost, I think he got countered, which Carlos can kind of do, I guess, but like I don't think now anymore. Like I don't know. Like, dude, talking about old people fights is so difficult, man, because it's like Like,
Yeah.
how can they withstand this amount of punishment, or are they the fighter they once were? Can they dial it back?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. Uh, I'm gonna go with Matt Brown. Screw it. I'm gonna go with Matt Brown in this fight. I think
I converted Trayvon. Let's go.
I think Matt Brown. I think he can just pressure Conor and just make Conor kind of ineffective in like low
Entire,
volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And like I mean he could get knocked out, but like
Yeah.
so could Carlos. You know what I mean.
We can move on to the next one.
No, that's good. That's a good idea.
Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Li Jingliang.
Okay, that's good. Okay, this is a reasonable fight. I don't know why this isn't the co-main event. To be honest with you.
Slight name power. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But no, man, I haven't seen the Leech fight in a while, man. I completely can't remember him in a bit. But I know Leech is good. I think, I mean, like Ponzinibbio hasn't fought in forever either, though. So I don't know how he can look. This fight, I think it's Ponzinibbio's to lose, in my opinion. I think Leech can kind of get.
Isn't Li Jingliang? I remember him. His body. The thing is, it's been so long since I last watched him, but I recall him being a decent, like having surprisingly okay boxing in his last fight.
Who, Ponzinibbio or Lee?
No, Lee. Okay, he lost to Magny.
Like Ponzinibbio hasn't fought since 2018, and the Leech against Magny, he just kept on clinching with him, and like.
Yeah, why would he?
Like Lee, like Lee's a really good pocket. He's a good pocket boxer. He can counter. He can do a lot of reasonable stuff well. He really can.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man. Like against Magna, he fought very
strange.
Dumb, man. He just kind of clinched up with him so hard and so crazy, and it was like unnecessary.
It's also bizarre. I remember him scraping Jake Matthews' eyes out.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. That was one of
the most horrific things I've ever seen. But
no, yeah, and then Ponzinibbio hasn't fought in 2 years, man. And then that fight, he jabbed up Neil Magny and then ended up knocking him out. Ponzinibbio has a really good jab, really good lead hand. He can fight off of that. I haven't seen anything from Lee yet that like tells me that he can handle that as of the moment. So I'm just gonna pick Ponzinibbio, even though he hasn't fought in 2 years. So
I think that would give Li Jingliang more of an avenue in the early going, but I'm probably gonna go just like skill for skill. I would probably go with Santiago.
No, yeah, like I said, I also go skill for skill, Pons as well. But again, like I said, this fight's they haven't fought I feel like they haven't fought in forever, both guys, but especially Pons, man. He legit just hasn't fought.
What was his last fight? Was it
against Neil Magny?
I remember Ponzinibbio. Wasn't he the guy who fought Gunnar Nelson, but then poked his eye on every single entry? Yeah. That type of thing happens, man. It's kind of not fun. Let me look. Okay, so we've got knockout of the year guy, Joaquin Buckley, and I got hate for this on Facebook, MMA Facebook. I'm a fan of his. I don't know why people are misinterpreting what I'm saying. Like, people are like, I addressed this a few episodes ago. People saying Joaquin Buckley is a problem in a weight division. Look out. Probably at some point in the future, but not yet. Like, it's good that they're giving him guys he can actually like challenge himself against, and actually like people are like there's two schools of thought, right? And both of them are stupid and annoying, and amongst MMA fans, like even some like fairly respectable MMA fans who understand like basic fight dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Like one, Dana White's babying this potential star. That's one. You know what I'm saying? And that they see that as they say that critically. And then the other one is, like, he needs to go fight like the elite of the elite. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Put Buckley into Adesanya right now.
Right. So it's like it doesn't make sense. Like, people don't understand like the middle ground that needs to occur with these prospects. Like they're either like I don't know, like either that's really one perspective and two sides of one perspective. It's like they think, oh, he's being babied, he needs to fight the elite of the elite, but then when he like gets like washed by someone really good, there's levels to this. What's his name is still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like either of those perspectives. I don't like either sides of the one perspective coin. It's like what's really important to understand is that like Joaquin Buckley is really good. He's very talented. If he fought in the regional scene, he probably already has dusted a lot of those guys. And you don't understand, like, you guys don't understand, like, if you don't watch regional MMA, like, all the love to like people from Houston, not you guys. No, I'm not throwing anyone. I'm not referring to anyone specifically. Like if you just like look up like random regional circuit thing and watch it, even on Fight Pass or on YouTube, they're horrible. Like Joaquin Buckley is actually like from like if you look at the barrel of pro MMA fighters just in the world, not the UFC, not Bellator, just the barrel, right? He's like better than 98% of them. You know, just because they're all so 99. Like they're mostly really shit. And I'm not kidding. I've seen some professional fights where I'm like, I have like athletic friends who would probably give them a good go in a street fight. Like it's actually crazy. So I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's very, very talented, but like he's too reckless right now with a lot of the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? His punches are too loopy. He chases. He gets hit. He's open to counter. He bursts in way too quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not very defensively responsible. He just gets caught. You know what I'm saying? He needs to work in cleaner, crisper boxing and straight hitting and more kicks and things like that, so that at the right time he can explode into range and do that kind of crazy, wacky stuff that he does that does catch people off guard. Like when you watch Dustin Poirier fight Max Holloway, like a lot of the really loopy, obvious shifting stuff is what hurt Max Holloway. But you know, what was he doing before? He was jabbing with him. He had really good defense. He was being really crisp. And then at the opportune moment, like when he saw a counter, it wasn't like a McGregor counter, which was this like sharp, stinging left hand. It was like a really boom and then like a wide shift into an overhand. You know what I'm saying? That worked for him. So that's the type of thing Joaquin Buckley needs to do. And I'm not saying he's like it's good that he's fighting this level of competition right now, because it's like he's taking steps up a ladder. You know what I'm saying? They're not just like taking a bungee thing and just catapulting him into the. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he really needs to have like a Kevin Holland type of progression right now. You know, where he's just fighting better and better fighters. Yeah, and so I'm excited for him. And also, that guy still works at Walgreens. So did you know that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So,
which is unfortunate.
well, let's keep him in the UFC making money for as long as we can. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get him dusted and then kill his talent.
No, yes, exactly. Like the guy who's fighting Alessio Di Chirico, he's just a well-rounded guy. He's just like one of those dudes that's just well-rounded. Can't really control the fight in any way. He can compete everywhere. If you're just not good, he's just gonna be better than you. But like Joaquin Buckley should be able to kind of do what he wants in this fight, which is good, and he should be able to he should be able to like walk him down and land big shots on him against a tough guy who can kind of challenge him in all those spaces. This is like I say again, this is a very good fight for Buckley because Alessio he's not a scrub, but he's a guy that I kind of don't really see beating Buckley unless Buckley kind of gasses himself.
Which he can do. That's the thing with his style. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes. If Buckley takes a loss to me, it'll be like a good prospect, like a good telling loss for him. But no, yeah, like Amon says, yeah, like he covers distance reasonably well, but he can kind of be a little reckless. He attacks the body really well, which is something I love.
Yeah.
But like he'll throw to the body just kind of with no aim and just for the sake of throwing to it, which
hard
is a slight
fast.
Positive. Yeah, which is a slight positive, but you still want to throw to the body with like tact,
some intention,
like, as you would as you would anywhere else. Again, I think he should win this fight. I think he should kind of beat up Alessio, probably finish him. But again, Alessio's a tough guy. He'll be in there. He'll test him. He might take him down a few times, clinch him up a few times, grind with him a little bit.
Make some veteran decisions.
This is the type of Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is the type of fight that will like do a lot for somebody's career. Again, like I say, I cannot express, man, how fighters need to develop. Even like I say, if you look at the most elite guys you've ever seen in your life, man, early fights, you'll be like,
dude, watch the fucking guy who took down Adesanya every time he tried to in rounds 1.5 and Adesanya's debut. No one gets near Adesanya to do that to him anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like I forgot who I was telling this to. It might have been you, Armand, or it might have been my friend John. But like I remember Adesanya fought Melvin Gillard, and like it was just so like I remember telling John. It looked like Adesanya didn't even look like an MMA fighter. He looked like an elite kickboxer fighting in MMA. He just looks like weird and sloppy whenever anything non-striking happened. He just looked like
very herky-jerky,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like obviously he was an elite striker then. He looked really good. He beat up Melvin Gillard because Melvin Gillard was like he's a 55er fighting at 85, I believe.
He was on season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. But then he's been around for a while.
And being old and shot and all that. But yes, like, he just looked weird. Like he didn't look like an MMA fighter at all to me. He just looked like a guy that like was just good at striking and like learned some MMA stuff and can just beat up guys just because of that. And, like now he's again, like Armand says, like he's just an elite MMA fighter, just period.
Period. Like, no one comes close to him. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't get near him like enough usually. or it takes him a while to get into that range. But I don't know the guy's name who fought him in his. I mean, he couldn't control the on the ground for shit. That guy, the guy wasn't a good fighter to be honest. But like, I mean, he was diving after. I mean, I remember him like lacing Adesanya's feet, like holding onto his feet like this, and Adesanya falling down like he just got his like legs iron. You know what I'm saying?
And again, like that's like a kickboxer fighting MMA. That's like how they get taken down. Like that's what it looks like. You know what I mean?
And they run away. Yeah, they sprint. You're like, ah! Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And like again, it took Adesanya developed like
extremely fast.
Yes. And I would say he had people would forget he's 20-0. That's he's had a lot of fights. Like he had a career, like he had the process of a career before he like actually like
stepped in the octagon.
Started. Yes, you know what I mean. Like he was mainly a kickboxer who dabbled in MMA just cause. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mainly, but like he was kickboxing at an elite level since like 2017. So like he barely had any time to like focus specifically on MMA. And when he did, you could see the process in the growth. So,
but the point is, even really talented people like that took time, and his progression was honestly like if you watch the difference between like how he dealt with the clinch against what's his name, the guy who recently beat the Armenian guy like Shavazian, Derek Brunson, like
Derek Brunson,
yeah, like okay, like if you watch that fight, like so much better in the clinch there, and using like his anti-wrestling was so much better there than it was in his first fight in UFC, and then now. Like just in general, like getting out of the way and being out of range to get like for people to get into that space with him, much better than in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a very fast progression for a fighter to come to the UFC, but it still took him like a year or so. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like talented, and honestly, he's kind of like a savvy. Like he like takes to grappling really well. You know what I mean? Like for a kickboxer, he honestly like learned grappling pretty well. You know, some people just never get the hang of it, but. Yeah, so you get what we're saying here. It takes some time, and Joaquin Buckley, needs to be on that trajectory. And very few people rise as meteorically as guys like Adesanya and John Jones. Like,
yes, man. So and again, even those guys, man, the people who rise at like ridiculous rates, man, you can still see like the weirdness or the jankiness in their games. You know what I mean? From like the beginning, and they need those just time. You know what I mean? You can't put them in. Can't put them in against good guys in the beginning.
No, Jones would not have won the title. Well, he might have because of Shogun, but like if like like the Jones that entered the UFC Machida, fighting,
if he would have fought Machida, that he just wouldn't be able to handle it. He just wouldn't know how to navigate that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or even like a good DC versus like the early Jones, like DC's probably would just like beat him in the clinch and take it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
exactly.
So. This is like you were mentioning. This is a good prospect fight for him. We'll see how he does. It could be like honestly, even against the guy that Joaquin just beat, you could see the holes in his game. Like it just was like the guy was timing knees as Joaquin, like bursted into range. Like you can time people's like entries if they so reliably run in on straight lines with like very wide open loopy things. Like the guy was like timing knees and timing kicks, and I remember him countering Joaquin a number of times before just eventually getting like deaded. But these are like when you watch someone who's really good in that division now. Little Mexican guy, I forgot his name. I'm really bad with names. I'm really tired. I'm bad with names today, not usually. Who fought Jeremy Stevens and poked his eye and then screamed at Michael Bisping.
Oh, Yair?
Yeah. Yair getting. I mean, he got killed by Frankie Edgar. You know what I mean? I mean, they put him in there too early with Frankie Edgar, in my opinion. But
way too early.
Yeah, but now he's developed. He's actually a good fighter now. You know what I mean? And he still needs to work on his ground game and things like that. Like, but yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. So like, they could be like that, or it could be like he rises. It's just a skill check at this point. So, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we can move on. Let's see. What's next on this card? We got.
I mean,
nothing. That one's the main card.
Yeah, nothing specifically.
Phil Hawes. You want to talk about Phil Hawes if you want?
He's he was a prospect. Now he's looking reasonable now. So that's cool, I guess.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's about that. Nothing else on this card specifically that I wanted to speak about. I hope Tom Breeze looks good. Tom Breeze is cool. He's fighting Akhmedov, who's a reasonable guy, so that's cool.
I can't believe Akhmedov almost stopped Chris Weidman.
I know, man. He really did. But no, Tom Breeze is a good fighter, so Tom Breeze and Akhmedov should be a reasonable fight. But no, yeah, like the card. That's about it for the card. Like I
Alright.
say, we're saving up all our energy for next week. Yeah, that's about that for the episode, you guys. Again, like I say, next week, man, we'll hit our next week should be very good because we're gonna be hitting our review of this fight card. And I can just guarantee that Holloway and Kattar should at least have something of note to speak about for long periods of time. Unless it's like a 12-second knockout, just
It's not really in either of their like repertoires.
Yeah,
Smoke
yeah, it really
people.
isn't. Yeah, it's not like they're just like death hitters. Yeah, but no, yeah. So next week is gonna be the episode where we're just hitting it. This week, just the card is just there. But it's gonna be on ABC. I told Armand about that as well. It's gonna be on ABC, so it's a free card, like an actual free card. So
yeah, for once in this fucking age of making people get through paywalls and shit in MMA. Now he's coming after the illegal streams. Dana White said so.
Hey man, they done killed crack streams.
Is it gone?
I wouldn't know anything about that website, but
I heard that. Is it gone?
They killed it, man. Hit it with the spirit bomb and all that. I'm gonna check right now.
The guy I know who uses crack streams said that it was fine. Let's see.
I'm searching I'm searching it up right now. Crack streams got straight annihilated, killed.
Someone I know
murdered.
also knows about this place called Ripple.is. Okay, that seems to be up still.
Crack streams?
Ripple.
Oh no, well yeah, crack streams is not working. No, yeah, it like had a error message pretty much.
Wow. Well, my friend who uses that and doesn't pay for pay-per-views, he's gonna be really upset about that.
Yeah, not me though.
My twin brother.
Yeah.
I have
exactly.
one.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
He's a good guy, real good guy, just like Armand, just like him.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. I hate him, but no, just kidding. He's despicable, illegal, fucking streamer.
I know, man. I hate those type of people. For real, it's disgusting.
I mean, what are the fighters gonna do? Making 12% of UFC's earnings without our pay-per-views? You know what I'm saying?
Good question.
Yeah.
But no, okay, yeah. So you guys, that's the episode for the day. Next week, like I say, we'll have a lot to discuss.
We'll be back this Wednesday too with our watch along.
Oh yes, that as well. Forgot all about that. Yes, the watch along those are very fun. And yeah, that's about that, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Follow all the social medias and whatnot. They should be in the description.
Like,
all
comment,
the other
subscribe,
YouTube stuff,
all that great stuff.
and the other YouTuber stuff.
Yes. And then one more thing, if you guys, some of you guys know us, if you want us to watch a certain fight with y'all that is like publicly accessible, you can leave it in the comments. You can email us. You can DM either of us. Just in any way that you want to hit us up, we'll just check them out. You try not to make them like 5-round fights that last for 30 minutes.
No. For me personally, that's fine. Just like
one. Like it can't be like
exactly. Yeah.
Hey guys, peace out.
Bye.